Hey, Lynn, when you go to Clark today, could you bring some of Aunt Honey's ashes with you? I want to scatter them around the tree where she placed Uncle Red. Thanks. Aunt Honey, Uncle Red, they were my godparents who lived in my hometown of Clark, New Jersey. They were very loving, they were tons of fun, and we had fantastic adventures together. I was the daughter that they never had, and they were like parents to me, as my parents were both deceased by the time I was 40. Loving them as much as I did, I made a commitment and a promise that I would take care of them and their only child, Bobby, who was mentally ill. Sitting in their kitchen one day, I asked, "What would you two like done with your ashes when you die?" Uncle Red, with his dry sense of humor, said, "Just throw me in the sewer." Aunt Honey spun around from the sink and in her best Jersey moxie said, "Put me in the dance floor and stomp me in." We lost Uncle Red in 2006, and Aunt Honey died 10 years later. We hosted her memorial service in this beautiful banquet hall just around the corner from their home called the Grand Centurions, and we rented the smaller room downstairs. I stepped into the room to set up, and there it was in front of me, a dance floor. Not being one to miss out on opportunities when they come my way. As the last guests were leaving, I went to my sister, "Linda, go out to the car and bring Aunt Honey in." Immediately, I ran up the stairs and I found my old neighbor and friend Joanne, who is the event planner at the Grand Centurions. I told her about Aunt Honey's wishes and she said, "Go for it, Elaine." She followed me downstairs and she took a seat with my husband, my sister, and brother-in-law. I took the jar with the ashes in it, and as I was stepping out onto the dance floor, I said, "Come on, Aunt Hun, dance with Elaine." This Jersey girl loved New York City, and she adored Frank Sinatra. And so I sang. "Start spreading the news. I'm leaving today. I want to be a part of it. New York, New York." Looking down, I realized that there were deep crevices in between the grooves of the parquet floor of the wood. And so I took little bits of Aunt Honey and I carefully placed her into those grooves. Her wishes were fulfilled. She made it to the dance floor, and one that was around the corner from her home that she lived in for 60 years. 3 weeks later, I returned to the Grand Centurions for a repass. The minute I walked into the building, Joanne came running up to me. "Elaine, Aunt Honey sealed into the dance floor. They varnished the floors." I ran downstairs. I stepped into the room, the shiny floor, and there she was, sealed into those grooves. She didn't get vacuumed up. She didn't get tossed in the landfill in Staten Island. So I ask all of you, what promises and commitments, what action can you take to help your loved ones, your friends, your family members, your neighbors in times of need? Can you help them move when they're struggling? Or can you help them rest in peace? Can you follow up on those commitments? Can you over-deliver on those commitments? Last year, I returned to the Grand Centurions. And as the awards banquet was ending, I went to Joanne and I said, "Joanne, can we go downstairs and see Aunt Honey?" And on the way down, she said, "Elaine, they laid a marble floor down in the whole room." Did they remove the dance floor? No, she's sealed in there permanently. We stepped into the room, and as she turned on the lights, I could feel her presence. And I went over to the spot where I sprinkled her, and I sang and I danced. And as we were leaving the room and Joanne was turning out the lights, I turned back in and I said, "Good night, Aunt Honey. I love you. I'm wearing your favorite pearls tonight."